Sleek lines and elegant designs is what makes the 2021 Elantra stand apart. But just like the great philosopher Will Smith once asked, you know the difference between you and me? I make this look good. Nothing else left to say. Let's drive. What is up, guys? It has been your car guy, and today we are talking about test driving the new 2021 Elantra SEL. And I completely believe that this is the best package to start off if you want the newest hotness when it comes to the cars that say Elantra on the back. And if you like this or any other car and happen to live in the Orlando area, go ahead and click that first link in the description below. This is scheduled with Miguel. That way I can guarantee that once you get here, you'll be getting me, because I could actually go ahead and sell you the car. It is absolutely amazing. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into what makes the Elantra the Elantra. Let's go ahead and pull out of here, because you will be absolutely amazed not only at the amount of things that you get in the car, but all the comfort features you get in the car too. You have forward collision avoidance assist with pedestrian detection, meaning the car will go ahead and stop itself if you don't have enough time to hit the brake. And it doesn't have to be only a car like so many other car manufacturers. It could be pedestrian too, so that way the car has your back when you're driving in case something, you know, unfortunately it happens, because it does happen. Another great thing is that once you get to the SEL, you also do have blind spot monitoring. That way, if someone's next to you, these little lights on the mirrors go ahead and light up to let you know that somebody is next to you, and hopefully you don't have to go ahead and turn into them. And of course, coupled into those blind spot sensors is rear cross detection, meaning that if you put the car in reverse, it actually senses left and right to see if another vehicle is actually approaching you. That way you don't accidentally reverse into a lady who's driving way too fast in a parking lot, or some guy driving a Ram really too fast in a parking lot. It's always one of those two things. It's either like a Ram driver or like a BMW driver that are going way too fast in a parking lot. But at least with the rear cross, you will be safe. Another thing, now that we're actually driving, is lane keeping assist and lane following assist. They pretty much do very similar things, but the distinction happens when you're going the speed that you're going. If you're going less than 40 miles an hour, lane follow assist gives the steering wheel a little bit bigger movement range because you're going slower, so you might need that extra motion in the wheel. But once you get above 40 miles an hour, lane keep assist actually goes ahead and takes over, and it gives you much more gradual turns instead of big jerky movements like so many other car manufacturers do. Now you're probably saying, well, what's the difference between Hyundai and Honda and Toyota and everybody else that has it? It's true, a lot of manufacturers have something very similar. But here's the distinction. Hyundai's keeps you centered in the lane, whereas, for example, Honda, I've had so many people trade on their Honda saying that they never used it before, because Honda does nothing until you're on the line, then it's a big whack. It's very scary, and most people don't like that. But with the Hyundai system, being that it keeps you centered up in the lane, it is much more gradual, much more comfortable for you to actually go ahead and take advantage of. And they all have to typically go, I think Toyota is the lowest, and they have to be going at least 35. Now with the lane follow assist from Hyundai, you could be going 5 miles an hour, and it's gonna try to keep you center of the lane. How cool is that? What we're gonna do is go down this little road that I typically take my test drives, because I just find it very interesting that even through these rough little patches here on the road, it is actually very comfortable. Now, do you feel the bumps? A little bit, but you don't feel like you have to go to the chiropractors, which is very cool. And the Elantra suspension has actually improved throughout the years, and especially on the 2021. I might be crazy, but it just feels so much nicer than the outgoing generation. Now, merging on to this street right here. Well, I want to go ahead and tell you about the drive mode features on the car, because you do have 3 different drive modes. You have normal, sport, and smart. What normal is kind of like this. I'm gonna go ahead and accelerate from right here and just getting on the road. It puts you where you need to be. You go ahead and accelerate. Nothing too crazy, nothing too exciting. It's very adequate with the acceleration in the normal drive mode. Now, once you go to complete stop, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this thing in sport mode to go ahead and show you what difference sport mode actually makes, because for the longest time I thought it was kind of like a placebo effect car, or a placebo effect type of thing in the car. It is not. So coming to a stop, I'm gonna go ahead and engage the sport mode and then give it a little bit more gas. and it keeps pulling. It keeps pulling. It keeps pulling. It's very good. Now, is really good for getting around slow pokes or getting onto highways especially, but if you don't feel like being speed racer anymore, you can go ahead, change the drive mode from sport to smart. What smart does is that if you don't want to be bothered by changing the sport manually, it'll adapt to the way you drive. So if you're doing a lot of city driving, stopping and going, it'll put in normal mode to save you some gas, because normal for Hyundai is the new eco mode. And as soon as you put the pedal to the metal, you're right back in it, baby. Right there, you're off like a bullet, and there you go. Now, speaking of the drive mode, I did want to go ahead and give a shout out to the powertrain of this car. Obviously, you do have a 4-cylinder engine that gives you 147 horsepower, but the miles per gallon is incredible. In the city, you're getting up to 31, and on the highway, you're getting up to 41 miles per gallon, which is phenomenal. Now, the other half of the powertrain besides the engine is the transmission, and that is new. Well, technically it came out in the 2020 Elantra, but this new body style incorporates Hyundai's new IVT transmission. Now, it is very similar conceptually, at least, to a CVT transmission, but unlike having all the stigma with the CVTs, the IVTs are much improved. One point is that unlike CVT transmission that have rubber pulleys in the transmission, the pulleys in the IVT are actually chains, so they last a lot longer. And with Hyundai's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, they don't have to be worried about at all. Another cool thing is that when you're up at higher speeds, kind of like we are now, I'm going, what, 45, 50, it's very quiet. Even when you go over that little bridge, it's very quiet. As a matter of fact, this has the same decibel level as a conversation. Check this out. 54 decibels, 55 decibels, that's a conversation. That's nothing. And that is the point of the IVT, because unlike most CVTs, this has like triple the sound insulation of regular CVTs, because it's not a regular CVT. IVT, baby, intelligence. Nice. Another phenomenal thing about the car is that if you're out about enjoying your day, but say you want to do something different, being that you have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, all you got to do is talk to the car. What is the nearest point of interest?
Here's what I found for what is the nearest point of interest.
And so if any of those points of interest you, go to them and make some new memories. How cool is that? The 2021 Elantra SEL with the wireless Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay is helping you create really, really good memories. And so guys, that was a quick little test drive on the brand new 2021 Elantra SEL. Now, I hope you enjoyed the test drive, but if you want a lot more information, click this little video and the link right there, and it'll take you right to a little breakdown video I did on the packages on the SEL for the 2021 Hyundai Elantra. I'm really sure you're going to like it, and if you like this video, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share. That way you and I can keep on growing the channel big and strong, and leave me a few comments. What else would you like to see me do? But until next time, guys, I'm a Your Car Guy, and I'll see you soon. Make sure am I squared up in there? Okay, you got the car, got me? Yeah, it's bright. All right. And of course, coupled in with the wireless, not the wireless, to sense left and right to see if there's another vehicle approaching and warn you if they actually are approaching you. That way you don't get your rear bumper nearly taken off by some jerk in a Dodge Ram. It's always the Dodge Ram people, right? Either Dodge Ram or like BMW people driving through mall parking lots. It's like they own everything.